Does depression really exist in Switzerland, in such a wealthy country? Are people really depressed, and is Switzerland truly one of the countries with the highest suicide rates in the world? Well, we address the topic in this video, and I won't just tell you what I think about it. I will also read to you what some people have written, people who have lived in Switzerland much, much longer than I have, under the video, "Don't move, it's not worth moving to Switzerland." If the video in particular is this one here, if you are doing well in Italy, meaning if you can save more than $1,000 a month in Italy, considering that there will also be a 13th and 14th salary, in my opinion, it's not really worth it. Go check it out so you can get an idea, and also read the comments there, because this is all true. The comments are there and they are public. So take a look yourselves and tell me what you think. I also take this opportunity to say that from this video, I will start a series of Q&A videos, so I will answer the questions you post below. This video here, so whatever you want to ask me, write it down below. I will pick the most interesting questions and will answer them in a future video. Well, depression in Switzerland. Guys, unfortunately, it's quite an important topic. It's something that exists. It exists despite being a country of wealthy people, a country of people who have a lot of money. I remind you that not everyone is rich. We are talking about a majority. When you read online that the average salary of a country is this, it's not entirely true, in the sense that there are many wealthy people who sometimes move here, or in the past. They have made fortunes that raise the average income level per capita of ordinary citizens. So if you read that in Switzerland, people earn 8,000 euros, 9,000 euros, it's not like that. I mean, yes, there are people who earn that much, but they are industry leaders, CEOs, hardly an ordinary person with a regular job. Because unfortunately, guys, we also need cooks, we also need pastry chefs, we also need bakers, we also need people who work in supermarkets. These people do not earn 8,000 euros a month. There are various topics on my channel that talk about money and how much one earns, whether or not one makes it to the end of the month. Spoiler, sometimes you don't make it to the end of the month, not even in a country where you earn 5,000 euros a month, guys. It's not that easy because there are unexpected expenses and not everything is cheap here. In these countries, unfortunately, there is also depression. I would like to read you a comment that struck me a lot. Under the video I mentioned, "Don't move, it's not worth moving to Switzerland." If you go back to it, you'll find it on the channel. So, FrankTitas7539 comments. After reading many comments from Swiss Franciscans, I too gladly leave a Swiss opinion. So he is Swiss, probably Swiss-Italian. So Switzerland is definitely a beautiful country. High quality of life. A few years ago, it was much better. The work, if you are qualified with many years of experience and the right push, vitamin B, calcium, in the rear, is usually well paid, right? Because here qualifications are very important. So if you are not very qualified, then I also say these things in the videos. Guys, you will struggle a lot to find a job. They focus on the piece of paper, the piece of paper. The more you have, the more you accumulate, like Pokemon cards. The more you have, the more you accumulate, the more they are worth. Here, they give value to those pieces of paper. No, they are not just leaves that you make if you invest in a course. Then it will gradually be evaluated over time, and of course, theoretically, you will earn more. All this quality then adds a price both in money and in psychophysical health. Switzerland is so beautiful that strangely it has the highest suicide rate. So beautiful that social envy and racism are everyday challenges to face. So beautiful that if you are lucky enough to have a job, you have to hide what you have, like a nice car, branded clothes, a medium to high level apartment, vacation, etc., etc. Because as soon as you show what you have or how you live, you are literally finished. You will be the first not to last in that context/company. So unfortunately, guys, it's true, there is a lot of competition. Here you have to act a bit like Obama. I have to act a bit poor. You can't show that you're doing well, that you're managing despite having just moved, that you're able to save some money. You can't show it here, unfortunately, I would add. There is a lot of social envy. Everyone wants to be rich. Everyone wants to be well off. Sometimes it's not like that. So people are very envious. It's better if you don't show what you have, what you own, and so on. Because this can lead to problems at work with people who understand nothing about life. And also problems with bosses who are sometimes envious too, for reasons unknown. However, this doesn't always happen. There are cases, but these cases also exist in Italy, let's be honest. It's not something exclusive to Switzerland. Regarding the country with the most suicides, it's true, unfortunately, for such a small country, there are many of these issues. Here, unfortunately, also due to work-related stress, due to the demands, the intense pressure present during work. In short, this is not an easy country. It's a country where when you work, you run and exhaust yourself. Those 8 hours are 8 hours. It's true. It's 5 days, sometimes 4. But those 8 hours, you work 8 hours, it doesn't exist. Like in Italy, it hardly exists. Break Coffee every 5 minutes, break, cigarette every 10 minutes. There are also such realities, especially outside of big cities like Zurich. But it is very, very difficult because here they are very meticulous, very precise. Let's say, well, we should understand where he got this data on suicides and evaluate it for a moment. The situation with a slightly more scientific context. So at a glance, I can't say he's wrong, but I can't fully agree either. Too much reason. He then adds, malice is gratuitous to disarming levels. It's unbelievable that a human being could go so far. Yet in CH, that is in the Helvetic Confederation, which is Switzerland, it is possible. Another very nice point. In CH, solitude is the best friend. Even for those who have been struggling for many years, solitude has never abandoned them, just like the drop of happiness with an attached psychologist. The weather, another point, very nice. Unless you are in Ticino, for the rest of the country, the grayness will become a permanent part of your daily life. So this thing is true, it's truthful. Here it rains a lot, snows a lot. The months of actual sunshine where you feel good are 3, 3, or 4, okay? The others are sunny days, cloudy days. But it often rains a lot too. So you need to consider this if you want to move here and you don't like this kind of weather. Let's say it's not advisable to move here to the part that is a bit more spared. It's the part of Ticino that has a climate that's a bit more Italian in many quotes, but still like northern Italy, as far as the grayness is concerned. Well, guys, I used to live near Milan, and honestly, it was much grayer there. Here, it's full of green stuff, full of green things. Well, I don't live in Zurich now, but in the province, actually, in another canton, here everything is green. I mean, I step outside my house and it's full of greenery. I also showed you a video where I show you Rapper Swill, where you can see that everything is completely green. The video is this one here. Go check it out. Let's open a small parenthesis. This video depends on the situation. Maybe he found himself in this difficulty, but not everyone experiences it like that. It also depends a lot on how you handle it mentally. Guys, depression, as he tells me here, loneliness, I had it even in Italy. I worked 6 days a week, 10, 11 hours a day to bring home 1,500, 1,600 euros in the restaurant industries, okay? And I was alone, guys, because when I was doing this job, people, my friends, my family were at home, and when I was at home, they were at work. All the holidays, I worked them, so I was never there. I was very sad. I was very depressed. I was very alone. And not to mention absolutely impossible relationships with a job like that in Italy, where people want to go for an aperitif. And it's the only thing they think about. And it's inconceivable that when everyone is having an aperitif, you have to work, because someone has to prepare those aperitifs that you all enjoy. Yet that's how it is. You don't have a relationship. You don't have a life. You don't have friendships if you work in the restaurant industry. So for me, for example, here he says that he had a bad experience. Yes, you had a bad experience. You're more alone. But probably because in Italy, you had relatives, friends, family. But it's normal that if you move to another country, you lose all these things unless you bring them with you. All of it. Bringing the whole crew with you will be very, very difficult. I was also lucky because, well, I have a roommate who is a bit of an idiot. But still, I can talk to him occasionally. And I have neighbors who are Ukrainian with whom I can chat from time to time. We got along right away. So yes, it's difficult because the Swiss don't give you that much familiarity. But I also practiced with people in Switzerland. And over the course of 6 months, you also have to make an effort to talk a bit. And above all, know how to listen to them. I know that if I need to talk, I can easily call this friend of mine in Switzerland and we'll have a coffee. Maybe not immediately, because here people have more free time and they dedicate it to doing other things. There are also pros to living here. For example, the fact that I had to move to Switzerland to have 2 days off. And to have a social life, I have more of a social life. Now, guys, when I worked in Italy, I had to drive 3 hours to get back and 3 hours to return here. And yet, I managed to see more people and do more things now than I did before, yes. And even now, I struggle to make it to the end of the month, just like I used to struggle to make it to the end of the month before. But here, for the moment, I pay for everything myself. I've paid for everything. Insurance, the money to travel back and forth, 300 kilometers. Every time, the maintenance, the insurance, everything, I manage to pay for everything and maybe even save a little. Then, after the 3rd month of saving, an unexpected expense comes up and you blow it all. But in the meantime, you've built a life. It depends on how you live it. Yes, me too. I'm not very happy with Switzerland where I am. Maybe in Ticino it would be better, but it would be less paid. I don't know. Maybe slowly over time we'll find out. Also because I'm not sure I'll stay here forever. But it's very, very relative. It depends on how you live it. If family is so important to you, if those people are so significant to you, you shouldn't move to Switzerland, stay with them, because I assure you that finding good people who love you is much more difficult than it seems. So it's not worth earning those extra 1,000 euros. If then you're as lonely as a dog because you miss your family, at this point stay there, because otherwise you'll never be happy. Switzerland is beautiful, but not for everyone, and like everyone, those who live there pretend in the face of an unpleasant reality of general discomfort, but it is accepted and hidden out of pure pride. Pretending and hiding is the first rule to follow, unlike in Italy, where the side is to show the vital core. Obviously, the exception in everything is like everywhere. If you have money, you have power. If you have power, you do and say whatever the hell you want. And especially in a country like Switzerland, which has made handling money, clean or not, a status symbol. So yes, it's true, here people pretend a lot that everything is fine, even if it's not. But guys, even in Italy, northern Italy, I lived there, okay? For most of my life, people are not well. People struggle. To make ends meet, they struggle to get by. I go to the psychologist. My mom went to the psychologist to make you understand, to be able to go on in a grueling environment of 6 days of work. So yes, here people are not well for various reasons, but even in Italy, people are not well for other reasons. Behind those smiles, there is a lot of distress and a lot of suffering that is also hidden in Italy or even in Spain, because I have also worked in Spain and in other countries where there is also a lot of falseness in Italy. Guys, go work in Milan and you'll see that in the end, it's not so different from Switzerland. From a personal point of view, in life, one works to be able to live. If I work and commit myself 100% every damn day in life to create and achieve, I want to and I can. I also demand to be able to spend and enjoy my earnings as I see fit. If I only have to work and accumulate, hide, pretend, and limit myself, living like a hermit, what is the point of working and making sacrifices? One life we have. I'm censoring the swear words. This is the situation you experience in CH. If you smile and are happy to live, to have a job, to be healthy, to enjoy your sacrifices as you wish, well, here you've got it wrong, country. If you are a hermit, introverted, used to nothingness, and keeping your head down with a permanent internal discomfort, then hurry up, pack your bags, because Switzerland is the right place for you. Switzerland is beautiful, but not for those who love to live. Abandon all hope, you who arrive. The world of fantasy is only cinematic. Well, I don't get this last quote because I think I'm a bit younger than the person who wrote this. Most of the comments I receive under these videos, I realize, are from people in their 40s or 50s. Guys, in 2 years, even here in Switzerland, a lot has changed after COVID, okay? And a lot has changed in Italy as well. In fact, in Italy, nothing has changed. It has gotten worse because it is still one of the countries, perhaps the only country, that hasn't had a salary increase. I don't even know for how long. In fact, it has had a decrease in salaries. So maybe you have a somewhat romantic idea of a country, of a beautiful country. I miss Italy every day too. I miss my family, my friends. But I can't say that I saw them more than I do now, honestly speaking. In my case, working in the restaurant industry. Maybe in other cases, it's a bit different. However, maybe in other cases, it's a bit different compared to your point of view and how you live. You are romanticizing a bit too much what you experience in Italy. You surely miss it. At this point, you can easily take a plane, a car, and go visit your relatives. But you see, it's not all roses and flowers. Living in Italy now as well. Surely, yes, it's nice to have an aperitif, which isn't here at the Pulse in Senano. For example, it's wonderful. But to have that aperitif 3 times a week, you practically spend everything you earn. So I've never understood people who have an aperitif every day if they can't afford it, and then struggle to make it to the end of the month and complain. So it depends on your priorities, right? There is no answer to this. Yes, certainly there is depression. It's definitely a very depressed country, but it also depends on how you experience it yourself. Even in Italy now, people can't make it to the end of the month. Prices have reached Swiss levels. In a country where people earn much less, the working hours are exhausting. The shifts are exhausting, even there. The difference is that here they are very meticulous. They're a bit less. So draw your own conclusions here in the comments below, because I wouldn't really know what to answer. Surely Switzerland is a depressed country, but it is a depressed country. Italy too. Ask me anything you want down here, because I will make a Q&A video based on what you ask me. Clearly, if we reach at least a minimum number of questions sufficient to make a video of at least 10 minutes. So please make an effort. Having said that, I thank you, I greet you, we'll see each other next time, and I recommend subscribing and activating the little bell, because most of you rascals are not subscribed to the channel. So I care a lot about this. Help me grow. Let's help each other grow together, and we'll see each other in the next video, in the next Q&A here from Switzerland.